we've come through, you know, trials and tribulations and really sort of bouts of happiness and elation. So we know that if we can win tonight, but Germany do too, you're in the final. And with a great chance of beating Argentina. Great chance of beating Argentina. This is the big one. Germany's the big one.
I think there's a lot of passion in that history between England and Germany. But actually, they like each other. Actually, the Germans like the English people. They're fascinated by England and the other way around.
The whole nation was kind of poised on the starting lineup, ready to celebrate. Pavarotti's music was fantastic, and then of course there was the player of the tournament, and he happened to be English.
Gascoigne, he'd strayed in the match against Cameroon, and I said to him, listen, if you're going to do that against Germany, Mateus will come striding through our midfield and he'll stick 2 goals past Peter Shilton from 25 yards, because that's what he can do. So you can't chase the ball. Bossy said, sit back and enjoy it. I know what I have to do, he said. And this is Gascoigne talking to me like this. So I looked at him. I said, yeah, I know what you have to do, I said. I know that you know what you have to do, but will you do it?
In 1966, England beat West Germany to win the World Cup. In 1970, West Germany took it from them. They were 2 games that captivated the nation. In 1990, it was the same.
Those are the England players who walk out for the most important match our international team have played since 1966.
You're blinkered really and totally focused on what you're going to do. But your palms are sweaty, your armpits are sweating up, and everything else. You're trying to control your adrenaline, and the players are really winding each other up, and you're trying to get wound up. But you know it's a big game.
Under all the circumstances, you know, the hype of the game, the importance of the game, where it was, the situation, I think England played that night one of the best games they've played for 25 years.
England had come to Italy as no hopers. Now they were 1 step away from the final. They looked like a team that couldn't lose. But in the second half, English aggression led to a free kick for the Germans.
Every free kick we had, you know, we always looked at it as a good chance, because we had a couple of guys that were always able to score from a free kick.
We had a good wall, and we had a kamikaze situation, you know, the guy to press the ball.
Paul Parker got a hell of a block on it, spun it right in the air.
It was spinning, and it was going to go over Shilton's head.
Oh, that could actually go in.
I was trying to blow the ball over the bar.
Schultz's little legs couldn't get him back quick enough.
You actually were very surprised, but you enjoyed it obviously because it was him.
The goal was the start of an emotional roller coaster that would last for an hour and live long in the memory.
Gaffer's got to make a change, and he obviously takes me off. He took me off against Cameroon, and we scored. He took me off against Germany, and we scored.
We're appealing for offside. The Germans, and they're in trouble. Alcantara couldn't do it. Lineker probably could, and it's Gary Lineker.
People ask you, what does it feel like when you score a goal like that? Well, I always say, well, what did you feel like when that goal went in? You know, it's probably the same. But when you scored it, there's perhaps just a bit more.
You said to yourself, well, now, it's there now. Kind of, you were worried about it. It's there now. Now you got to deal with it. And it made the game actually really exciting.
The match went into extra time. It brought a moment that would change Paul Gascoigne's life forever.
Gascoigne again. He won't be shaken off. In the end, the German bench get up and protest at Gascoigne's last challenge. He's so involved in this game. Oh dear. Oh dear me. He's going to be out of the final if England get there.
If you ever look at it, I've never touched the guy. I've went in, I've never touched him, and I think most foreigners, the old twist and turn and diving and rolling as if they've just been shot. And then he booked us, and then I went. The feeling, I couldn't describe the feeling.
And here is a moment that almost brings tears to his eyes.
Gazza's bottom lip was starting to go, and I said, well, you know, keep your eye on him, basically. I mean, Gazza is an emotional boy, as we've seen on 1 or 2 occasions.
And I came to the touchline a couple of times and tried to get the Paul Gas going. Calm down, kid. Stay down, you know, keep your head, don't lose control of it, keep playing for us. And the kid survived. He came through a very rough patch, actually.
The match finished 1-1 and went to penalties. Watching Paul Gascoigne's tears was almost unbearable. The idea that England could play in a final without him was unthinkable.
My head wasn't there to take a penalty. There was no way. I was just somewhere else. I was in another world, to be fair, after I got booked.
I actually think penalties are one of the reasons why football has become so popular. Huge numbers of non-believers, from my mother upwards, who didn't understand what football was about, understood the drama of penalties.
Gary Lineker. It's going to be Bremer now for West Germany.
I can't remember him saving one. And all the time I was at Southampton with him, and all the time I was at Derby, so it must have been 9 years or more. I never saw him save one.
I was a Leicester fan. He was my hero, you know. I've seen him save lots of penalties. Well, 1 or 2. Not that many.
So now Stuart Pearce.
My wife and my family were there, and you feel a bit sorry for them as such, you know what I mean? Not just myself, really, you know. So it's quite a big one to have on your conscience.
Gazza was down as the 5th, but obviously what had happened with the book, and he was very upset, very emotional. And I said, no, I'll take it. Put the ball down, I thought, if I hit this as hard as I can, he ain't going to save it. It was probably about 6 inches, being one of the best penalties I've ever seen. Unfortunately, 6 inches is one of the worst penalties I've ever seen.
I don't think anyone blames him, you know. Nobody blames him for the defeat. It's just something that will live with him forever.
Apart from the odd moron, there's about 98% of the public are very sympathetic and very understanding.
The team of 90 was the best team that we have had in England since Sir Alf's 1966 Heroes.
If a playwright can't write those moments as dramatically as they happen naturally in sport, then an artist couldn't have drawn anything as powerful as the photograph of Gazza lifting his shirt and wiping his tears. The sense of patriotism, the sense of disappointment, all those things were encapsulated in one single photographic image.
The players had left England like villains. They returned as heroes. You'd have thought they'd won the World Cup.
You know, the press were saying he was chubby and fat and all that, and I just thought I enjoyed the tournament. I thought, you know, I played really well throughout the tournament, so it was just another one back on the press, to be fair. And when we arrived at the hotel, all the fans were at the hotel, and my dad was in the hotel, and he had his mobile home. But he did have a house, don't get me wrong, he just had a mobile home for holidays in the back, and I slipped around the back, got in the mobile home, and drove actually through the crowd. And they were shouting for us, waiting for us coming out of the hotel, but it would just been impossible. And I remember just stopping at the garage on the way home, and bloke was just standing there staring at us. His life's going to be a bit tough for you in the next couple of years, and he was right.